Back at it again, TV family. We have gathered on this Thursday, the 12th day of January, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is raining with a rain-snow mix in the upper elevations here in Wenatchee, 32 degrees. It rained from about 11 o'clock to about midnight. Then it tapered off for about an hour. And then starting at about 1 o'clock in the morning, it started raining again. It's been raining fairly steadily since then, and we could set a record rainfall for this date. We're already close to halfway there. We've gotten about 0.15 inches of rain in the Wenatchee Valley already. Since midnight, the record on this date is 0.26 inches of rain, set back in 1961. We may get there. It's supposed to rain most of the morning, tapering off about 11 o'clock or so, then dry for the rest of the day, and then another round of rain comes in overnight tonight into Friday. And again, it's kind of a rain-snow mix in many locations. For instance, the East Wenatchee Bench is getting some light snow. Up in Pangbourne, they're actually getting some light snow because Pangbourne's at about 1,200 feet above sea level. Here in our studios, we're about 700 feet above sea level, so we're right at that rain-snow mix. It's going to be all rain here in the next hour or so. Tumwater Canyon is closed. This has been an ongoing issue, not because of avalanches, but because of avalanche danger. Warmer temperatures, lots of snow on very steep hillsides. That's the recipe for having some problems there. And we understand a few rocks on the road, too, on US 97A between Wenatchee and Chelan. Again, that's something we normally see, too. When we get a lot of rain, loosens up those rocks. They got to go someplace. And because we have a little thing called gravity on this planet, it has a tendency to go down. Forecast details are on the way. The information that you need to get your Thursday going will also be on the agenda with the news, sports, Wild won. They're at the 500 mark for the first time this season. The Seattle Kraken have a tall task. They've won 6 in a row, but to make it 7 in a row in Boston tonight, it's going to be tough. And we'll continue our preview of the Seahawks and the 40 Whiners, who get the playoffs going on Saturday afternoon. It is Thursday. Pause for Pets will be coming your way. It's a cat, I believe, today. Malenia needs a permanent home. We'll visit with our friends, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And the Empty Bowls event is back, the 11th annual Empty Bowls. They do it 3 times in the wintertime. They already did one in December. They do one coming up on January 20th. And then again in February. It all benefits the food bank that is administered by the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. And we'll talk to Alan Walker, the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, and the guy who coordinates the distribution of the food from the food pantry. His name is Jeremy Yannicka. He's a good guy. You'll meet Jeremy, and you'll meet Alan even more. He's been a regular on this show in the back half of the program. And we begin our tour at 3 minutes after the hour with the Wenatchee Heights camera. Don't have a monitor here in the studio, but the last I checked about 10 minutes ago, it was kind of a rain-snow mix up there at the Heights camera. Again, we're right at that demarcation line. It doesn't take a lot, just a couple of hundred feet in elevation change, where it can either be snow or rain. It's we just dropped down to 30 degrees, so we're starting to see a little bit more wet snow on the valley floor here at Wenatchee. Again, it'll switch over to just plain rain as the day progresses. This is a fairly tropical system coming in from the southwest, which is bringing a lot of rain to the Puget Sound area. They're worried about flooding there. Snow in the upper elevations, but not too bad. Later on today, the snow level is going to go to about 7,000 feet. So that's up there a ways. Hay Canyon, looking out over the Cashmere area, is next on the agenda. Good morning to you folks there. And again, you're getting a lot of rain too. The temperature in Cashmere, let me check right now, is 33 degrees. So it's 3 degrees warmer in Cashmere than it is here in Wenatchee. Speaking of Cashmere, the Monitor camera high up above the hills in Monitor. We check in there as well as the rain continues to come down. And we wrap things up with downtown Wenatchee from the roof of the Cascadian Hotel. It's nice to have 2 cameras on the roof of the Cascadian, one pointing south, one pointing north. It gives us options when we have low clouds and fog because, low clouds and fog means a lot of our PTZ cameras aren't really usable because there's really nothing to see. This slide from the National Weather Service, wet weather. Yeah, this is an updated slide from what we showed you yesterday, dealing with snow in the upper elevations, rain down below. And again, we're looking at the distinct possibility of record rainfall on this date. I wouldn't be surprised if we get it because the rain will die down, as I mentioned before. Mid to late morning will be dry most of this afternoon, and then the rain returns for another round tonight into Friday. And then kind of hit and miss showers right on into the weekend, I might add. And the temperatures will be very mild for this time of the year. Our normal high is 33. We'll be near 40. Our friends at Apple Valley Honda is the sponsor from the National Weather Service. Your forecast. Rain. Did I mention that? Again, right around 10:30, 11, we'll start drying out. We'll get up to about 38 degrees, but we're in for a pretty steady dose of precipitation between now and around noon or so. Then we dry out this afternoon, and then the next round of rain comes in about 10 o'clock tonight. We'll see some patchy fog. The overnight low will be above freezing tonight, so will be rain, not snow, in the Wenatchee Valley. We wake up tomorrow morning with rain. The rain tapers off, and then we just have foggy and cloudy and mild conditions with that warm, moist air coming in. High near 40. Next chance of rain Friday night, about a 40% chance of rain. Overnight low about 34. And into the weekend we go. And for a lot of people, it's a 3-day weekend because Monday is MLK Day. So Saturday, a slight chance of some afternoon rain, lots of clouds, high of 40. On Sunday, slight chance of some afternoon rain and a high near 38. And a high about 38 with hit and miss rain on Monday and Tuesday. Will cool down a little bit by the middle of next week. That is the weather, and there is a lot of it at 6 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break, and then we'll have the news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one,
That's a great choice.
and I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
30 degrees. That means we're the cold spot around north central Washington. Everybody else is at least in the mid 30s. We have a little bit of a light rain snow mix coming down right now. It'll switch over to all rain. We'll dry out this afternoon. More rain tonight into Friday, and then a little rain here and there, and very mild temperatures for the weekend, at least for the middle of January. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A Kashmir man who shot and killed another man in a parking lot confrontation may not face any charges. In that case, Chelan County prosecutors filed papers this week to withdraw the count of second-degree murder against 24-year-old Jesus Manuel Torres Lucatero. Torres opened fire with a handgun back on September 22nd on 22-year-old Gustavo Urbina outside the Kashmir Valley Bank's downtown branch in Kashmir. Prosecutors now say the deadly shooting appears to have been justifiable because Urbina was attacking Torres' brother with a baseball bat at the time. In their filing on Monday, prosecutors said pursuing the case, quote, is no longer in the interests of justice. Attorneys for a Wenatchee religious leader charged with domestic abuse says some of the criminal counts against him should be thrown out. Lawyers for Isaac David Heckman, he's of the Assembly of Called Out Believers. The lawyers filed motions to dismiss charges of cyber stalking and witness tampering before he goes to trial. That'll be in March. Heckman was initially charged with 3 counts of assault after his arrest back in 2021. Chelan County deputies say Heckman then went on to harass his alleged victim using a website that posted sensitive images of her. His defense attorney, says the facts are insufficient to support those charges, and if a judge will not dismiss them, Heckman wants them severed from his domestic violence case and have those charges heard in a separate trial. City of Wenatchee is going to host a public hearing tonight on the Confluence Parkway project. This has been in the hopper for a number of years. That's that major road realignment on the north end of town that would create a second bridge across the Wenatchee River, help alleviate the heavy traffic on North Wenatchee Avenue. An environmental assessment has now been completed. It is available on the city's website. You can check it out yourself, and then you can go to City Hall tonight and comment. Members of the public, you can comment on the environmental review until January 31st. That's the deadline, but you can also check it out tonight. They'll get going at 5:15 at City Hall Chambers. Wildlife agents will be catching local bighorn sheep. And how do they do that? They do it with helicopters. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife said it'll be carrying out aerial captures through March on the Manson and Lake Chelan herds, as well as other herds of bighorn sheep throughout the east side of the state. The sheep will be fitted with radio collars, and then they're going to be released, and after that, they monitor the sheep over the next 4 years to gain data on where exactly they go and what exactly they do. The NCW Equity Alliance is continuing their Learning to People Better Together. It's a learning series that continues again this year. The program is spread out in 10 sessions. It's designed for participants from our area and organizations from our area to develop skills in diversity, equity, and inclusion. The majority of the sessions will be held virtually in the evenings, and they'll be limited to 30 people total. The series begins with a hybrid evening session on January 25th at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. It's called Learning to People Better Together. It launched back in 2021, and they work with leaders from 25 different nonprofits in our area. And the Chelan County Sheriff's Canine Unit is in need of some community help. The canine that needs help is Asa. Asa has been working with the Sheriff's Office since 2017, but began experiencing health issues in July of 2021. Asa suffered a cruciate ligament tear in her left leg, underwent surgery at Washington State University, and the veterinarian staff at Wazoo advised that the injury was caused by a genetic condition and that Asa had about a 50% chance of the same injury occurring in her right leg, and by golly, last September, that's exactly what happened. So after trying treatment and physical therapy with Kashmir Vet Clinic, another surgery was recommended by the Wazoo Vet Hospital. The Sheriff's Office posted to Facebook asking for donations for her surgery and potential future treatments. Once recovered from surgery, Asa is expected to return to duty. By the way, a link to donate to help out Asa can be found on our website, ncwlife.com. And ncwlife.com is our website. We populate it all the time with news stories throughout the course of the day today. We also have all of our programs archived, our newscast. You can watch it via our website, or you can watch it on television. Do we have a preview from Grant? We do, and it looks something like this.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Snow this morning and rain by this afternoon. I'll have all the details, plus your weekend outlook and your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a look at what's on tap tonight in area high school, college, and pro sports. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
I make a point of watching the news, and I already know what it is because I'm a part of it. If you have a news tip, get a hold of us. Go to our Facebook page, email us directly, go to our homepage, stand on the roof of your house with a bullhorn and point it towards our building. No, don't do that. Authorities will probably come after you on that. And don't forget, our newscast is available on our website, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. When we come back, the Wenatchee Wild, thrilling overtime victory. Boy, when it comes to overtime, Wenatchee Wild's pretty good. Highlights of a nice victory last night at the Town Toyota Center is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Beaver Valley Lodge in Leavenworth is located on 50 acres set in a quiet country atmosphere with historic farm feel and charm. It's sure to make your stay one to remember. Beaver Valley Lodge offers a variety of overnight accommodations for groups large and small that range from rooms for 2 to 4 people to entire vacation homes with all the space you'll need for a reunion, a retreat, or a wedding. Book your stay at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you'll come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Quarter after the hour, the Wenatchee Wild are at the 500 mark for the first time this season. An overtime victory over Salmon Arm last night. At the Town Toyota Center, Micah Berger scored the game-tying goal in regulation. That sent it into extra frames, and then he scored the game winner. So Mr. Berger had a good day. The 10th time Wenatchee has played an overtime game this season.
Dombrowski leaves it back for McCloskey. Wristed toward the net. Knocked down. Chance. Up top. He scores! Alexios Georgiaklis to the top of the net. How's that for your first junior point? Alexios! 1-0. 1-1. Wild have tied it. Up by Lambert. Comes to the near corner. Lambert gathers this one up. Lambert, turnaround throw, save made, looking for the back door, and wide open is Jules Boilard. He hammers it home, gets a second chance, and the Silverbacks take a 2-1 lead. With Berger, 3-on-3. Berger enters his zone, tied with Littler and Kim. Rashad, he scores! Top corner, Micah Berger ties it at 2. Littler stays on time. Berger with a wrist shot. That one misses high. Played out front. Littler, nobody there on the back door. And it's out to the blue line. Weston cannot hold the zone. Padded up right wing. It goes to Marshall. And for the 10th time this year, the Wenatchee Wild will play bonus hockey. Berger left point. Samoza drifts toward the net. Sedlowski steps on with a wrist shot. He scores! Micah Berger! It sneaks through. Wild win. Drive home safely.
Wild are now 7-3 in their 10 overtime games this season, either in overtime or in a shootout. The Wild will be on the road. They'll be at Cranbrook tomorrow night, and they're back at the Town Toyota Center to host Prince George 6:05 at the Town Toyota Center. The Seattle Kraken continue their 9-day, 7-game road trip today in Boston. Seattle, of course, has a 6-game winning streak. They're 5-0 on the road trip so far, but today's challenge against the Bruins is going to be a tough one. Boston has the best record in the NHL, 32-4-4. The puck drops at 4 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. The Cougars picked up right where they left off. Of course, they had that huge upset win over Arizona over the weekend. A phenomenal victory for them. And by golly, last night in Pullman, they kept it going. Mohamed Gay went right to work. He scored inside, and he scored outside. By the way, it was a partial sellout in Pullman last night. Micah Berger leading the way with, again, scoring inside, scoring outside, scoring everywhere. DJ Rodman, he contributed 14 points in the game. Justin Powell, he had 12. Wazoo outscored Cal 35-21 in the second half, and they come away with a 66-51 victory. Coach Kyle Smith says they learned just before the game they were going to have to play without TJ Bamba, who's their leading scorer. But he said, hey, the guys responded.
Great effort, I thought, for our team, coming off obviously a big win in our last game. You never know how your team's going to come out. And then we got the news that TJ was doubtful today, and then we didn't have him, as a big challenge for our guys to step up. And honestly, I thought, even though the game was a 1-point game and a half, I thought we played well for the first 18 minutes. We're up 7, and Cal's always giving us probably physical. They're on the glass. They make you earn it. And then they made those 2 threes in a half. We're up 1 and just challenged our guys to come out in the second half. And we really guarded well. And that first 4 minutes was big for us, and just a lot of guys played well.
Cougars improved to 8-10 overall. They're 3-4 in conference play. They play again tonight, by the way. Speaking of coming up tonight, Gonzaga. Number 8 Gonzaga plays at Brigham Young. Well, they play the school. If they played Brigham Young personally, they would easily win because he's dead. Anyway, they're at 6:30 tonight on ESPN. Haley Van Lith and the Louisville Cardinals are back in action today at 13th ranked Virginia Tech. The game tips off at 4 o'clock. If you have the ACC network, you can watch it. To the Les Schwab Prep basketball scoreboard from last night. The Cashmere girls, no trouble with Quincy, as you see there, but the Quincy boys returned the favor in the nightcap. They dominated Cashmere 85-58. The Quincy boys 5-2 in Caribou Trail League play. The Jackrabbits are tied for second with Chelan. Omak leads the division at 6-1. Girls scheduled tonight. Pateras visits Soap Lake. Moses Lake Christian will host Cascade Christian. The Moses Lake girls have a makeup game at East Lake at 6 o'clock. The Moses Lake boys will be in Prosser tonight for a game at 6:45. Soap Lake will host Pateras at 7:30. Cascade Christian will be at Moses Lake Christian. A reminder, we will be courtside tomorrow night in East Wenatchee. The Wildcats will host West Valley. Eric and Grant with the call. The girls will be live on our Facebook page at 5:45. The boys on Facebook and TV at 7:30. Then the girls game on delay on TV tomorrow night at 10:30. We have to go back to Tuesday to send along a Big Nine wrestling score because these things happen. The Panthers beat the Davis Pirates in wrestling 48-28. By the way, the Wenatchee Panthers are unbeaten in league matches so far this season. Davis, that was their first loss of the year. Wrestling schedule tonight. On the mats, Cashmere hosts a double duel with Cascade and Quincy, facing off at 6 with the Bulldogs wrestling Omak. Then at 7 is Cashmere and Cascade, and the Pioneers take on the Jackrabbits. Eastmont's at home against West Valley tonight at 7. Wenatchee travels to Moses Lake, and Eastmont and Ephrata stays at home against Grandview. Local bowlers take to the lanes at 3 o'clock this afternoon. They're all on the road. Eastmont's on the road at Sunnyside. Wenatchee is on the road at Davis. Moses Lake is at home against Eisenhower at Lake Bowl. Supposed to be wet and rainy in Santa Clara on Saturday afternoon. Seahawks 49ers NFC wildcard game. If it's going to be pretty crappy field positions, you would think the running game would be a premium for both sides in this matchup, regardless if it's a run game or a pass type of game. Seattle quarterback Geno Smith says, hey, we're pretty pumped. We'll be ready.
Yeah, I think everyone's just super excited. We get another chance, to play. We get a chance to go fight for a Super Bowl. Obviously, we got a tough opponent, but I think everyone's just locked in and really engaged. You can tell by the meetings this morning. You can tell by our walkthroughs that, guys are just focused and locked in. The coaches are doing a great job at making sure all the guys are, understanding the assignments and getting the game plan down. So, everyone's ready, getting ready for another tough matchup on Sunday, but a lot of excitement.
In case you missed it, Smith set a Seahawks single-season record for passing yards. He threw for 4,282 yards and 30 touchdowns. Some folks are saying it's a fairy tale season for Geno Smith. Geno Smith says it's not.
I would say it's not a fairy tale. I think it's very much reality, and I think where we are as a team is that, we've been working hard, man. We put a lot of good stuff on tape as a team. I think we've come a long way since the beginning of the season, since training camp and OTAs, and it's all just a result of the hard work and all the repetition that everyone's put in. So, for us, that's what it's about, sticking to the process, staying focused on that process, and making sure that, that's the main focus, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, playoffs. It's almost upon us, and the Seahawks and the 49ers get things going Saturday afternoon at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 23 minutes after the hour. Our obscure holiday of the day today, it's Happy National Pharmacist Day today. The idea of separating physicians from pharmacists goes back to the 8th century. It was in Greece, Rome, and Egypt. Before that, your physician and your pharmacist was the same dude, and they said, let's separate them out. Let's do that. And so that's what they did sometime in the 8th century, and then it spread to Europe and then on down the line, until finally they actually started passing laws in the 1600s that forbid physicians from actually handing out medicine. They say we have to have a go-between, and that's where the pharmacists came in. It came to North America, as you might imagine, and then the pharmaceutical industry is ginormously huge, and of course pharmacists play a great deal in your health. You get the prescription from your doctor, then you go to the pharmacist to get the prescription filled out, and the pharmacist can find out if the medication you're taking conflicts with any other kind of medication. So one guy diagnoses the problem and says this is what you need to take to fix it, and then you take it to the other guy, the pharmacist, to get your drugs. Happy National Pharmacist Day today. Why is the pharmacist, or back in the old days, or not anymore, but why does the pharmacist always have that raised counter? You notice that? They're always about 3 feet above you, Can I get my pills? 24 minutes after the hour today in history. We've been doing Super Bowls. It's that time of the year, and a lot of people still think this is the most significant Super Bowl in the history of professional football. Super Bowl III, sometimes called Super Bowl III. At the Orange Bowl in Miami, the very first time and the only time that the Super Bowl was held in the same city in the same stadium 2 years in a row. Super Bowl II was also at the Orange Bowl, and we all know what happened. Broadway Joe Namath and the New York Jets upset the Baltimore Colts 16-7 to win Super Bowl III. The Jets were a 19.5-point underdog, and they won the game. This was the very first Super Bowl to be called officially the Super Bowl. Other interesting facts about this game. This is the Super Bowl that has the first Super Bowl that has the entire game broadcast preserved on videotape. Normally they would erase the videotape because it was expensive and nobody thought they'd have any need for it. But because of the historic nature of this massive upset, they kept the videotape. The videotape still exists. There's like 2 plays in the fourth quarter with Baltimore on the ball that don't exist anymore. They had to change the tape over so they didn't get those on tape. Outside of that, the entire game is preserved on videotape. MVP of Super Bowl III, Joe Namath. Joe Namath did not run for a touchdown pass. Joe Namath did not throw a touchdown pass. He is the only quarterback to win the Super Bowl MVP without throwing a touchdown pass or scoring one himself. But he deserved it anyway. By the way, the Jets, this is it. This is the highlight for the Jets. It's been 54 years, and since then the Jets haven't done squat. They didn't even win a playoff game or even go to the playoffs for the next 14 years. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And this is the only Super Bowl whose matchup between the Colts and the Jets can't happen anymore because the Colts and the Jets both play in the AFC now. So there you go. Back then, of course, they were in the NFL and the AFL. Broadway Joe does it on this date in Miami 54 years ago today. Another Super Bowl, Super Bowl IX, sometimes called Super Bowl IX, which is a registered trademark of the National Football League, all rights reserved. Pittsburgh defeats Minnesota to win their very first Super Bowl. They would win 5 more. Pittsburgh and New England have each won 6 Super Bowls, more than any other franchise. This game was in New Orleans. It was supposed to be in the Superdome. Superdome wasn't done yet, so they had to move it to Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, and they probably wish they played it indoors because the weather was lousy. It was 45 degrees, it was rainy, and it was windy, and the Steelers rolled over the Vikings 16-6 to win Super Bowl IX. 32 years ago today, the Constitution specifically states Congress, and only Congress, can declare war. Well, Congress doesn't do that anymore. Harry Truman, during the Korean War, found a loophole. Of course, Lyndon Johnson, during the Vietnam War, found a really big loophole. We're not going to declare war. Just give me the money. Just give me the money to fight the war without you having to actually declare war, Congress. That way you can cover your political butt. And they did it again on this date in 1991 when Congress authorized the money to give to the president to drive Iraq out of Kuwait. Again, we didn't declare war. We're just going to write you the check. Hello, George. Here's your money. Let us check in out again. Let us know how we're doing. Congress has simply abdicated their constitutional duty to declare war. They just don't do it anymore. Chickens. And finally, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The induction ceremony was held on this date 30 years ago today, January 12th, 1993 in Los Angeles. Inducted Sly and the Family Stone. Great move there. They all showed up to get their awards and make their speeches. Etta James was inducted. She was there. The surviving members of Creedence Clearwater Revival were on hand. The surviving members of The Doors all showed up to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All 3 members of Cream, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, and Eric Clapton were there. And inducted Van Morrison, the great Van Morrison, who became the first living artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who didn't bother to show up. Van Morrison, no show. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on this date 30 years ago today, but he's still one of the greatest. He is a bit enigmatic, though. 29 minutes after the hour, we got 3 heavenly birthdays to pass along for you today. Jack London, the great Jack London, was the very first American author to gain international fame and make a lot of money by being an author, by writing. Most of that belonged to the Europeans, but Jack London was the first wildly worldwide popular American novelist and writer. Of course, Jack London, The Call of the Wild, White Fang, and the greatest short story I think ever written. Well, The Lottery is a pretty good short story, but To Build a Fire is one of the most readable short stories ever. The great Jack London, born in this state in 1876, died at the age of 40 in 1916. But man, he's a good author, was anyway. Born 100 years ago today, 100 years ago today, Ira Hayes. Ira Hayes, the American Marine, one of the American Marines who raised the flag over Iwo Jima in 1945. Ira Hayes came home an American hero. Ira Hayes, a Native American, and returned to his native country where he found out he was just another Native American. That was a minority that we ignored. And Ira Hayes took to the bottle, and Ira Hayes drank himself to death in 1955 at the age of 32. Ira Hayes, born 100 years ago today. Smokin' Joe Frazier Born on this date in 1944, we lost Joe at the age of 67 back in 2011. Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world for 1970 to 1973. The first boxer to ever beat Muhammad Ali. He did that at Madison Square Garden in March of 1971. In fact, Joe Frazier only lost 4 fights in his entire heavyweight professional career. He lost to Muhammad Ali twice, and he lost to George Foreman twice. Smoking Joe Frazier, born this day in 1944, and the first person in history to have a net worth of $200 billion. He's worth more than that now. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is 59 years old today. From 2017 to 2021, he was the richest person in the world. He's now the 5th richest person in the world. Jeff Bezos, 59 years old today. Still to come, a brand new opinion from the Mad Dog himself, Mike Magnotti. You've never seen it because we never aired it. We also have my conversation with the good folks at the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council for the Empty Bowls event. Your chance to help out their food pantry. We'll talk to Alan and Jeremy, too, coming up. But first things first, it's Pause for Pets. Malinia the cat needs a home.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley, and with me this week is Millennia. Millennia came in, months ago, as a 2-month-old kitten, and she came in with her twin brother. When Millennia and her brother first came in, they were a little bit on the shy, nervous side. Her brother had become more outgoing first, and so he's been adopted, and now she's with us still. As you can see, she's a little bit bigger. She's probably about 8-9 months at this point. And the reason why she's still here 6 months later, she had ringworm one time, and then she went into foster care for socialization to try to bring her out of her shell. And then they caught ringworm again, and they went through a second round of ringworm treatment. And now she's up for adoption once more and has come out of her shell day by day. Here at the shelter, she doesn't really meow a lot. She squeaks, which is honestly the cutest thing ever. She plays this game of I want attention, I don't want attention, but she really does secretly want attention. She just likes to be coy about it. She will need a quiet home. That way she can get adjusted to a new lifestyle. If you have another cat, she probably could do well with another cat, since she lived with her brother for years. And if your cat is outgoing, it'll probably help her come out of her shell. She's been here for more than 30 days, so she's a part of our Name Your Price adoption fee. And if you are interested in meeting with her, and you can come on down to our shelter. We're open every day except Wednesday, and we're open 11 to 6 and closed 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
This could be the view out of your office window.
North Central Washington is probably one of the most beautiful places to live, and you get to experience it all as a transit operator.
Link Transit coach operators enjoy full family benefits, paid CDL training, a state-of-the-art fleet, and the satisfaction of being part of a progressive, community-minded team.
We have a lot of fun with each other. I mean, it's a good group of people. We're all kind of like a family.
If you like this view, Link has a seat for you. The next operator training starts soon. Apply today at linktransit.com.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. Remember the good old days? Sunday supper at Grandma's and the best recipes being passed down through generations? Well, come on out to Blueberry Hills and find amazing food with huge portions at family-friendly prices. From Benedict's to burgers to fresh fruit pies, there is something for everyone. Don't miss Blueberry Hills, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. wildaboutberries.com.
Hey, this is Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I recently posted a picture on Facebook, a Throwback Thursday pic of my son and Tony and I in Mexico some years ago. In the pic, Tony and I are having a beer, and I'm holding a cigar. A friend posted, "Nice picture, except for the nasty cigar." Well, I beg to differ. Sure, cigar smoking could be considered a questionable activity, but the hours of relaxation cigars have given me and the opportunity smoking one has provided for me to just spend a quiet hour reading a good book has been worth any nastiness some might attribute to the cigar. At least that's in my opinion. Now, the Bible says all things in moderation, and the peace and relaxation a cigar brings is a pleasant life interlude. Of course, Rosie says 3 times a week is not moderation, but I beg to differ. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everyone's entitled to my opinion.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Merry Maids. Tickets are on sale now for the 75th Anniversary Follies Show. Every 3 years, local talent gather on the stage at the Numerica Performing Arts Center to sing, dance, and perform skits to benefit the Wenatchee Follies Guild and Children's Foundation. Follies is the longest-running stage show in the history of the Valley. Follies 2023 is February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Tickets can be purchased online or at the Numerica Pack.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about,
Remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're in the not-so carnivorous food storage facility for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. Their annual fundraiser is coming up. It's the annual Empty Bowls campaign. It's in January and in February. We'll give you the details of that in just a little bit. To my immediate left is our good buddy, the Executive Director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Alan Walker. Alan, introduce your cohort there.
Absolutely. I have with me today Jeremy Yannicka. Jeremy is our Food Distribution Center coordinator here. Been with us for a couple of years.
It's an important job, and we'll talk to us what Jeremy does on a day-to-day basis. But first things first, Alan, your organization got one hell of a Christmas gift on the 23rd of December. Congresswoman Schreier and alongside Representative Mike Steele got together, helped you guys out, talk about the 3 million big fatties, buddy.
Yes, absolutely. So a very nice Christmas gift received from Representative Schreier on December 23rd, as you said. We'd been working with the Congresswoman and her staff on an appropriation, a federal appropriation for a project that we're working on, and she came through. It was one of the projects that she supported in her district, and so we're very pleased with that. And Representative Steele, our state representative, kind of kicked us off during the last state legislative session a year ago with securing a $1 million state appropriation. So $4 million on a $5.7 million project we're working on. So very, very nice Christmas present.
And Alan didn't go out and buy a new truck. This money is earmarked for a specific project.
It is for a specific project. We're looking at purchasing property that will bring all of our services together. We're currently located in 4 different locations. This property will bring us all together. It will expand particularly our food warehouse, which is in desperate need of expansion, and new equipment for coolers and freezers, a commercial kitchen, a food pantry, just lots of exciting components in that package.
My guess is having 4 different locations is a logistic challenge in and of itself, is it not? I mean, it doesn't work.
It's a lot more challenging to have people spread out. Jeremy is one of those that's removed from our main office. And then just the cost too. You know, our main office we own, but the other locations we rent. And so it does get expensive.
Last time you and I visited in the food distribution center on the north end of town, we talked about the aging infrastructure. That was a year ago. It's a year later, and it's not newer.
It's not any newer, and these cooler and freezer units have been here for many decades. They're probably pushing 3 decades old, and just like in your own home, your refrigerator doesn't last that long.
And you just lost a refrigerator. You had one go down.
Yes, we had an external refrigerator unit that quit on us, and getting it repaired is cost prohibitive at this time.
How do you prioritize funds? You're not a bank. Yeah. There's only a finite amount of money out there for the people who need it and the services that you render, and there's a lot of services. It's not just food. It's housing. It's weatherization. It's you got AmeriCorps folks doing their great job. How do you prioritize what must be a lot of priorities?
There are a lot of priorities. Frequently it comes down to funding sources. Our funding sources are very dedicated. We don't have a whole lot of fluid dollars, if you will, and so it's a matter of securing funding sources for a particular community need and continuing to keep that funding source secure.
So $3 million from the feds, $1 million from the state. That puts you, let's see, 3 plus 4 is 3 plus 1 is
3
4.
plus 1 is
so
4.
Where are we going from there?
Yeah,
where
are we going from there? We have several local supporters as well, local government jurisdictions, Chelan County, City of Wenatchee, Accountable Community of Health, the Washington State Department of Agriculture, and many other foundations and individuals have been supporting us. We've raised an additional $1 million plus through those efforts. And so we're on our last about $500,000 to $600,000 that we're trying to finish raising, hopefully in the next couple or 3 weeks.
Is there a chance with the legislation now in session, and it's a budget year, a capital budget year, is there a chance that money may be coming your way from the state, or are you're on your own from this point forward?
We're on our own from this point forward. We worked with the Department of Ag. They really came through with some extra funding for us on this project as well. And then, of course, the $1 million from the state appropriated last session, and so we can access that. And then the $3 million, as you mentioned, from Representative Schreier's office. So we're on our own to garner the last little bit, and we're getting really close.
So blue sky in the pie is super happy Dan. Everything comes through, you get the funding, you get the building that you're hoping to get. What does that mean for your organization from that standpoint?
Well, as much for the organization as it is for the communities that we serve. For our organization, it means having everybody in one location. It means having a secure facility. Right now, all of our vehicles that we have, company vehicles, are parked outside, not even in a gated fenced area. So, we've had vandalism issues and things like that. Vehicles will be secure. Access will be drastically improved. Right now, to get to our main office building, there's not a close bus stop. And
the one on Lewis Street?
The one on Lewis Street. It's in a neighborhood that can be difficult to navigate through and to even find us.
And it's not even easier when there's snow all over the place.
It's even more challenging when there's snow all over the place. The parking lot's very small, and right now it's a pile of snow, basically. So just the accessibility, the usability, would be greatly improved for our community.
It is the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, big footprint, and this is where you come in. It's not just here in Wenatchee. You serve communities all over Chelan and Douglas County.
Yeah, Mansfield, Bridgeport, go as far as up there. Trying to hit underserved communities with our mobile pantry, looking at branching into like Winthrop or Withrow. And
I hate to ask you this question because I think I know the answer. How's business, buddy?
Very busy, as always.
You would just assume not to be very busy,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, rising cost of food and gas is, forcing more people to visit pantries who normally wouldn't. And
so, walk me through your job and your day. You're like the conduit. You're like the middle of the hourglass, if you will, right?
So my day pretty much consists of starting to determine what builds we have for the day, who we're sending out to the next day or that day, and then coordinating an order based on what food we have available at the time, and then the pantry's needs, how much they serve, staying in contact with the pantry directors. This is what we have available. How much would you like? Do you not want any of this? And
how do you handle perishables, things that have a short shelf life that need to be refrigerated? Dairy products come to mind, cheese and milk and things. How does that work?
Just communication with the pantries about how much they can actually take. Most of our pantries are really good about just giving more perishables to people if they need to get rid of it.
Do you get better deals when fruits and vegetables are in season, and that kind of stuff?
It kind of varies on season, like what we get. We partner with a couple of different agencies that bring us fresh produce locally based on different, what's in season.
Does your job force you to say no when you really want to say yes? You just don't have much of a choice on certain requests from outliers, or you're able to fill each order as they come?
Yeah, well, there's certain things, that everybody wants peanut butter, but sometimes we don't have it. So yeah, I do have to say, no, unfortunately we don't have that. But part of my job is trying to find it.
Right.
Contacting our various agency partners and saying, hey, do you have this? Can we order some of this? And
we are here in the fruit warehouse. How does this place get stocked? Where does the stuff that's in here now get here? How does the baby
it all
formula
comes in,
and the chicken soup end up here?
Yeah, it comes in from different agencies, Second Harvest, Northwest Harvest, from Spokane, Yakima, government issued, Grocery Rescue, going to neighboring businesses. And
do you like your job?
Of course, it's awesome.
Do you have good days, or is it?
Yes. No, every single day is great. It's a very rewarding job. Just previous, jobs of retail management and stuff weren't as rewarding, but yeah, every day makes you feel good because you're making a difference.
Speaking of making a difference, Alan, Empty Bowls is back. Help me out. 11th year.
11th year.
11th year.
Yes.
Empty Bowls in a nutshell for the uninitiated.
Certainly. So the concept behind the Empty Bowls is both fundraising and education. So it's a reminder that not everybody has a full bowl of soup at the end of the day. And that's kind of the message behind it. But the logistics is you come down to Pybus Market on either January 20th or February 17th, or did I flip those dates?
January 20th.
Yes, January 20th and February
right here,
15th.
Alan.
You've got it right there.
It's a press release from Alan Walker, Executive Director for the Sunday. Friday, January 20th and Friday, February 17th at the local event center at Pybus Public Market.
Yes.
Same deal as you always do?
Same deal as we always do, from 3 to 7 p.m. It's a drop-in, or you can pre-order. It's $15 for a ceramic bowl and all the paint and brushes and other materials to create your own masterpiece, if you will, of a bowl. I should have brought one of my previous masterpieces with me. They're in awe.
Glad that you didn't.
You're welcome, as are everybody else. But it's just an opportunity to release your inner artistic ability, if you will. And then we'll take the bowl once it has been painted by yourself. It'll be glazed, it'll be fired, and it's a dishwasher, edible, very usable object then also. And then we'll all come together later in the springtime, March, April timeframe. We haven't picked the date just yet for a community dinner, and you'll be an opportunity to pick up your bowl and have dinner and just feel good about giving back.
This is the 11th year, which tells me two things. Number one, it's been working, and number two, the need is still there.
The need is still there, and what's really was incredible about the longevity of the program, and not every year would we utilize all the funds that were raised. We were trying to set aside to build up a pool, if you will, and really the empty bowls is what led to the storage racks that we have here now in our warehouse. Before we used just the floor space, and by installing pallet racks that we have now, that didn't quite double, but certainly expanded our usable space in here. And so those type of things we don't have the funding for on a regular basis, but taking the Empty Bowls project really has made a tremendous difference.
And we're going to point this out. I'm going to emphasize this again. The money that we talked about that came from the federal government and the state and the other local municipalities, which is leaving Alan's organization about $600,000 short, that money is earmarked specifically for the new facility. It doesn't change the fact that you still have your basic everyday funding needs, which is where Empty Bowls comes in. You can't tap into that piggy bank to move it to someplace else. Doesn't work that way.
No, this money that we're raising right now, the state and the federal and the local dollars are all designated for this particular project, but it is a project that is going to serve our community for the next 3 to 5 decades. I mean, it really is a game changer.
Speaking of that, is there an end to the vicious cycle? I've asked you this before, but does it sometimes get frustrating that I'm never going to be able to stop this? You know, people need help, and inflation, and then unemployment, and then I mean, how does
it would be nice.
You just keep plugging away.
It would be nice. A year that is familiar with you, 1965 is when community action started here in our region. I wish we could say that we were no longer needed, but unfortunately that's not the case. While we've helped thousands escape poverty, there are still others that we have not been able to do that for yet. So we've made a tremendous impact, and the community's made a tremendous impact, but people are still there.
1965. How old do you think I am, Alan?
Golly.
One more question, and we'll cut you a little. In fact, I'll start with you, Jeremy. What can we, the general public, do to help you guys out? We're here. People watch the show, believe it or not. Anything we can do to help you make your day a little easier?
Check our Facebook for information on the Green Bag program. Sign up to help us with green bags. And
any particular NFL team that you follow? Anybody that you're interested in?
Pretty obviously.
Alan, I'll let you have the final word, buddy. Take it home and give the folks yours. By the way, great staff. Douglas Community Action Council. You've got some good people there.
Yeah.
Whose hearts is in the right place, and they give a damn, which is about 95% of the job right there. Yes, Alan, I'll let you take it home one more time.
You know, I think from a community standpoint, just being aware of others around you, being accepting, knowing that oftentimes people find themselves in a situation that was not planned by themselves. And anything that we can do to give folks just a little boost really does go a long way. And so next time you see somebody that you think is struggling, have them reach out to us. You know, I really discourage people trying to take on something themselves, because usually it's bigger than one person can take on. But as a community, we can.
And it's a myriad of services that Alan's organization offers. We've concentrated mostly on the food, but weatherization for older homes, rent assistance, the list goes on and on and on.
Utility assistance, financial education, English as a second language, the AmeriCorps, the RSVP. Yes, the list goes on.
I need the financial education because I have not balanced my checkbook in about 25 years.
Marry a banker.
That's what he did. It's nice meeting you, and keep up the good work, and go Seahawks. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And Alan, it's always good to see you. And
good
again,
to see you
nice job on making me sound really old. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Again, empty bowls. Go to their website. I just Google Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. Pops right up. All the information you need is right there, and we will be right back.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
The holiday season is here, and life is hectic. Let Merry Maids help simplify yours. You expect a lot, and Merry Maids delivers more. They'll make your home or business sparkle for holiday parties, special events, and family gatherings. They'll customize the cleaning to fit your needs and your budget. Merry Maids are cleaning experts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Best of all, your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Visit online, merrymaids.com, and call for a free estimate. Then you can relax. It's done.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Continues to rain in downtown Wenatchee. It's been raining lightly, not heavily, but steady light rain since about 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're just joining us, we had some light rain from about 11 o'clock to midnight, and then it stopped raining for about an hour, and then about 1 a.m. it started raining again for a brief period of time for about half an hour earlier today. It was kind of a rain-snow mix here in the Wenatchee Valley, in the valley on the floor, like downtown, what you see behind us. And some of the upper elevations, like the East Wenatchee Bench and Wenatchee Heights, they were getting kind of a rain-snow mix and just plain snow in, say, Leavenworth and Coles Corner. Tumwater Canyon's still closed. Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Coles Corner, not because of avalanche that's happened, but because avalanches may happen. And they're going to close Stevens Pass for avalanche control work, by the way, in about a minute at 8 o'clock this morning, so heads up on that. So you got some issues traveling on US 2, and we could very well set a record for rainfall on this date. The record rainfall on January 12th was 0.26 inches, just over a quarter of an inch of rain. That happened back in 1968. So just real quickly, one more look at that slide that we showed you earlier. This is an updated slide from what we had from yesterday at this time. Same deal, snow in the mountain passes, rain in the valley floor. The snow level is going to go up to well above pass level by this afternoon. So Yeah, it's a wet one. Real quickly, from Apple Valley Honda and the National Weather Service, rain should taper off late morning. Will be dry this afternoon. Then the next round of rain comes in tonight. So we're going to have more rain before this day is over. That's why I think we're going to break some records. 38 for the high today, 40 with some rain on Friday. Light rain possible on Saturday with, again, a high near 40. Very mild weather for the holiday weekend. And that's it for us. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.